So welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is part 4 of my paint along series. I'm still painting the books. I'm just going to put a background in. And this is when you start playing with negative space. And negative space is just as important, because what you can do is you are now looking at the edges of things, and you take it step backwards and then keep going back into this space. It's called negative space. Well, I think it's called negative space. So I've got a small brush and then I've got a large brush to do the edges, because obviously I'm not going to do the whole background with this little brush, but it just allows you to kind of just keep an eye on all those nice angles and wonderful shapes that we got earlier. And then we need to build the backgrounds up just as much as we need to build everything else. And again, we've got that really nice. And don't worry about most of the edges, because they have a highlight on them, so it'll be fine. Nearly all of them have a highlight right on the edge. And the last one is a bit wacky. That comes out again. And it's never going to be exact the first time. We're just playing with this again, this negative space. So if we've made a slight boo-boo or a correction, we can go back in there and make sure we've kept all that gorgeousness we've just created. Now I always find it a little bit easier to go from top to bottom. And again, all in there. But we can do this several times, so all is not lost. It's just nice to create a little bit of order. And I think that's the one that came out, wasn't it? Yep, whoopsie. Oops. And then kind of have that one, then that one. And the more you build it up, the crisper the edges become. And the more precise your edges are then. So we've done that, so we can get rid of as much paint as we can off that paintbrush, put it in there, and then go in. It's damp, so I'm just going to go in. Oopsie. Just going to put some of this distilled thinner and build up this nice colour. So you have kind of a nice rich. Now the background will have light coming from a certain place, and it won't all be just plain dark brown, but we're just doing a layer, a glaze, so it just wants to be covered. See, and again it's a little bit thick, is that, but it's I tried to keep in the same direction, but I suppose it really matters. It's just how I roll. I've managed to get some bits in there. That's not that good, but never mind. This is just a practice. Probably will be my last. There is a reason I don't paint anymore. So I think that's a fairly decent. Just have a look in the light and you can see if you've missed any, but I don't think I have. So it's built up some more colour, and then you put your paintbrushes straight into water, which is wonderful for oil paints. So it's had a complete thin coat of background, and it's also been all over everywhere else with a thin coat. So it's just building up layers of the pages and the book covers. So this one's going to be slightly darker. This is a reddy colour, and then these are kind of dark purpley colour. So I've got to change the colours slightly. A darker green, and then a paler green, and then a kind of a pale grey olive. So that was just a really quick thing. So what I'm going to do now is, this was my new palette this morning before I had my disaster. So it's basically damp kitchen paper with greaseproof paper or parchment, baking parchment over the top. And all my little tubes I've pulled out of my paint here. This one, I put a little bit of stand oil on the top. So that one is, and if you see, it's all slippery because of the oil. This one, that one was titanium white, and this is zinc white, which is also mixing white. This one is lemon yellow. Oops, come on. They're all a bit kind of, oops, I don't want it in the brown. Come out. Oh, come on. That's on the yellow. That's cadmium yellow. These will last a week. They've got that little bit of oil on them, so they're glistening. So that's cad, and this is Elysian crimson. And I haven't used much of these colours, just a little bit, so I didn't put much out. The French ultramarine I used to make my dark greens, and the cad, and I used all the brown up. So this is a Stay Wet palette. It's got the seal on it. and this is what is the tray, but I use as a lid. So I'm going to put that on top, and then there is a clip. And that clip is what snaps, and they're all snapped shut now. It does have a bottom on it as well, but they're all snapped shut, and they will last a week. And they've got that little bit of stand oil on them, so they'll last a week. Oh, hi Claudia, hi Suzanne, welcome to Bunny's Designs. I'm just coming to the end of the paint along, part 4. I've given everything else another coating, and then just coated another layer of background. So I'm just saving my paints for next time. And they have lasted quite well, so that's quite good. So in my little pot, which I put on here. Now I don't know how these are going to fare because I've not done this before, but so this was my mixing medium. And this is my stand oil. Oopsie. And I went back to a wooden palette because my other one wasn't behaving. This is mixable, and there's nothing in that one. This is my liquid distilled liquid, but I don't want to pour it back in my bottle. So it's called Thinner. Oops, Thinner. And I don't want to pour it in there, but I'm going to pour it in there for next time because it's perfectly alright. And I've got a little bit of stand oil in there, which is, I can wipe that one out now, and I find it easy if you clean these. And then I'm going to use, I'm going to pop this into here. Palette knife, come out. I've got a little palette knife here. Sorry, alphabet. We'll have an Alfie cam in a second, Suzanne. Sorry. Right, so everything can be saved for next time. Apologies, I don't know why he's barking. Probably because he knows it's a recording. So everything's saved, and I can wipe that out with a kitchen paper, and it will wash out with hot soapy water, because obviously everything washes out with hot soapy water if it's artisan, if it's water mixable. So they can be saved for next time. And then I'm just going to wash this with hot soapy water. All the brushes can be washed with hot soapy water, and you can clean your hands with a baby wipe. So I always think that's wonderful. So that's the end of part 4 until next week, and that's as far as we've got the paint along. Thank you for watching.